The Ellen Powell versus Kleiner Perkins trial captured the fascination of the country, highlighting this issue of gender discrimination in Silicon Valley. The jury found in favor of Kleiner Perkins. But what did you see in that trial?
I thought what was so interesting about the trial is that so many women, not just in technology but across industries, saw their own experiences there. And you saw that. You saw women posting.
Did you see yourself in that trial?
Sure. I mean, I wrote a whole book about experiences this. But what's happening is that we have systematic stereotypes of women and systematic biases of women that, for men, likability and success is correlated. As they get more successful, more powerful, they're better liked. For women, success and likability are negatively correlated. As a woman gets more successful, more powerful, she is less liked.
A lot of the things that Ellen Powell alleged were small. She was asked to take notes at a meeting. She wasn't invited to a dinner.
Richard wasn't there to take the notes, so.
She wasn't invited to a dinner, an all-male dinner. A lot of these things are incremental, small things that don't seem like a big deal, but taken together, maybe they are. How do you prevent those kind of small things?
Yeah, one interesting thing that came out of the dinner we had is how some women said that they're not invited, for instance, to go on business trips because of the American law, which is, where the men are worried about sexual harassment law. So suddenly it's all the men going on the business trips and the women are left behind. But if I just give one radical suggestion, and because I don't actually think we're going to get to a situation where boardrooms are equal women for another 100 years, even if we have these. Well, even if we have these. But I think the way to get there is to do what Scandinavia's done, and I know a lot of women don't agree with this, but I just think you've got to say any new company that sets up from today must have at least 50% women on the board.
The irony of the Ellen Powell trial is that Kleiner Perkins actually has top women partners, and most of the top venture capital firms in Silicon Valley don't.
That's right.
At all. So I wonder, does Silicon Valley have a different problem or a worse gender problem than other parts of the world, than the rest of the world?
I think Silicon Valley has one particular problem, which is the pipeline of engineers for women is dwindling. So in 1985, women were 35% of computer science majors in the United States. We're 18% today. So that is a uniquely Silicon Valley problem. But if you look at the leadership ranks, there is not an industry out there, no matter how many of its workers are women, that has enough women in leadership. The nonprofit industry in the United States, 75% of the workers are women. Do you know how many women run their big nonprofits? 21%. Even with 75% of the workers. And so our biases against women as leaders need to be exposed, understood, and changed.
During that trial, a lot of things bubble up. Twitter was slapped with a gender discrimination lawsuit. Facebook is being sued by a former female employee who says that she was harassed at work. Her boss said something like, "Why don't you just go home and take care of your kids?" This is your issue. I'm sure this concerns you, Sheryl.
Well, we put out a statement on that case, which is, we think that shows that she was treated fairly. But let's leave that case aside, because these cases happen. The treatment of women in the workforce is an issue. We all have it. The assumptions that men can have both families and women and work and women can't, those are bad and those are hard, and we need to change this.
Women bosses are not always the best at treating women well.